We ready to?
Okay, we're ready to begin.
Okay. Welcome everyone to our World Heritage Area Project Update meeting. Thank you for joining us this evening. And I'd like to introduce Councilwoman Villagran, who will kick off the meeting. Thank you. Councilwoman?
Good evening. Hello, welcome everyone. We are so glad to have you here joining us today. My name is Rebecca Villagran. I am the City Council member for District 3, the south and the southeast side of San Antonio, and proud representative of 4 of our 5 World Heritage missions. Since 2013, I've had the pleasure of serving you, and representing you has been an honor. First and foremost, I hope you and your loved ones are safe and healthy during this most challenging time. I'm grateful for each and every one of you for joining us tonight for this very important World Heritage Area Project Update meeting. As you know, we continue to navigate this new frontier of technology by hosting meetings online for everyone's health and safety. So we know that the mute button is very key for all of us, but we'll go into those details later on. I sincerely hope that you and your family, loved ones, and friends are staying safe and healthy again, both mentally and physically. We are a very strong and resilient community, and we will get through this together. Tonight, we will provide you with updates and information on projects throughout our city's World Heritage area. As some of you may be familiar, the World Heritage Area stretches from the Alamo in District 1 south on St. Mary Street and Roosevelt Avenue through District 5 and down south to our 4 southern missions in District 3, Concepcion, San Jose, San Juan, and Espada. We want to make sure that you know as well this coming, and I think I'm hearing feedback, Rogelio, so if everybody can just mute if you're not speaking, because there's a little bit of feedback. So, everyone, if you are watching, we want you to know that this coming Saturday, we are going to have a Christmas or a holiday book giveaway for children this coming Saturday. It starts at 3 o'clock. It will be at Southside Lions Senior Center. We will have it set up. We are partnering with District Council Member Jada Andrew Sullivan in District 2. We wanted to do a book giveaway this weekend, so we will be posting more information about that this coming Saturday. Also, I heard this Saturday we're having a fantastic holiday market at our Mission Marquee Plaza that I know you will hear more about later on. But tonight's agenda includes information and updates on opportunity zones, giving you some information about opportunity zones and where we have them in the World Heritage Area, an update from the Harvey Najum Family YMCA next steps, and the street name changes along with the World Heritage Trail. Joining us this evening will be Matt Prosser and Kristen Ramirez from the consultant firm of EPS, who will talk about the opportunity zones in San Antonio. Currently, the city's Economic Development Department and the World Heritage Office, in addition to Southside First, have partnered to focus on 2 opportunity zones in the South Side. And tonight, we will focus on the Mission San Jose Brooks area. This partnership will work to facilitate projects and develop a strategy within the opportunity zones. A great platform for us to see some great resurgence of opportunity, of development. Also joining us this evening is Sandy Mirander, the President and CEO of the YMCA of Greater San Antonio. You know, the voters were very committed and specific in the 2017 bond program expansion for the Harvey Najum Family YMCA, and your input on the types of amenities at the YMCA is essential. So we're looking forward to hearing our updates tonight and you all hearing from them. And lastly, I'd like to thank Logan Sparrow, Interim Policy Administrator, and Valerie Huerta Rodriguez, Senior Planner from the City of San Antonio Development Services Department, for joining us. Valerie will present on the World Heritage Trail street name changes, provide an update, and share information about the process. That's a lot of information, but I am very excited right now because at this time, I would like to introduce our newest addition to San Antonio, Superintendent Christine Jacobs of the San Antonio Missions National Historical Park. Superintendent Jacobs recently returned to the National Park Service after serving 5 years in Paris, France, with an American Battle Monuments Commission. She brings a wealth of knowledge and World Heritage Site experience, as well as an expertise in partnerships, operations, and resource management in an international diplomatic context to the local team here. I want to welcome you, Superintendent Jacobs, to San Antonio and open the floor for a moment for you to give a few words.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman, and thank you to the San Antonio community for such a warm welcome. My family and I arrived in San Antonio in late October and appreciate the incredible challenge that this past year has been for everyone. I'm very grateful, and I've seen already how much the community looks to the park and the World Heritage Site as a whole as a place where everyone can socially distant and experience and get outside. So I am just really thrilled to be here. I look forward to working with each and every one of you and working with the San Antonio Missions National Historical Park team to help preserve, protect, and share the incredible stories of this amazing park that is embedded in the fabric of the overall San Antonio community. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Superintendent Jacobs. We're really looking forward to all that we're going to accomplish together and learn from one another. So welcome again. Thank you all for joining us this evening and sharing your time with us. We appreciate your patience and understanding. Should there be any delays or inconvenience with our technology, I know we are all learning and growing through this. But now I'd like to introduce Rogelio Munoz, member of our mighty World Heritage Office at the City of San Antonio, to go over the procedures for our interaction with all of you this evening. Thank you, Rogelio. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I want to note that tonight is the first time our office is using the WebEx as a platform for the meeting. During each presentation, we encourage you to ask questions or make comments on the chat feature on your screens. If you're having challenges with the chat feature, there are 2 other ways or options. You can email questions to worldheritage@sanantonio.gov. That's World Heritage, one word, @San or text questions to 210-262-0025. That number again to text questions to is area code 210-262-0025. We also have city staff on hand and available to address any questions or issues that you may have regarding tonight's topics. If we don't have an answer, rest assured that our city team is happy to assist you and follow up with you and address your questions. If we are unable to answer your question or you think of something after the presentation is over, we'll have some time at the end for additional Q&A with our participants. We will also be recording this meeting so that others who are unable to make this meeting can hear the same information that was shared this evening with their family and friends. I believe that we also have a link for 2 surveys this evening for the Opportunity Zones topic, as well as Phase 2 and Phase 3 for the Harvey Family NASIM YMCA. Both of the videos and surveys can be accessed at sanantonio.gov/World Heritage and our city website. So it's sanantonio.gov/World Heritage. So we'll move to our next item on the agenda, and that's Opportunity Zones in the South Side. This evening, we have Matt Proser, who is Vice President of EPS, and Kristen Ramirez with MIG, Senior Project Associate. So let me bring the presentation up. Just give me 1 second. We have a lot of participants this evening, so it's taking a bit. Just bear with me. Okay, Kristen, the floor is yours, and Matt Proser.
Hello, everybody. My name is Matt Prosser. I work with Economic and Planning Systems, or EPS for short. We're a land use economics consulting firm. I'm actually based in our Denver office. Joining our team is also MIG, which is an urban design and public outreach firm. Kristen Ramirez from MIG is here as well, and she'll have an opportunity to chime in about engagement opportunities related to our project we're working on. So we EPS and MIG were contracted by the city of San Antonio to develop an opportunity zone strategy for the South Side. So you're likely asking yourself, what are opportunity zones? Well, opportunity zones are a program that was created by the federal government as part of the as part of the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. The intent of the program is to try to attract investment into low-income or underfunded communities as a way to stimulate job growth and economic development. The incentive that's provided by this program is the deferral, reduction, and or exemption of capital gains tax from investments, either past or future, for funds that are invested within an opportunity zone. Next slide, Rogelio. So where are these opportunity zones? Well, there are over 8,700 opportunity zones within the U.S. Opportunity zones are based on U.S. Census tracts, and they were nominated by governors of each state and designated by the U.S. Treasury. And to be eligible to be an opportunity zone, the census tract had to have a poverty rate of at least 20% or a median income that was below 80% of the state or metro area's income level. This map shows where they are in Texas, and we'll talk about San Antonio's opportunity zones in a second. So the real question that we, the team, and the city officials are asking is how can these opportunity zones benefit our community? Can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. And there's a couple different ways that can occur. So the purpose of this tool is to help attract investment into areas that have historically been underinvested. And that can happen through a couple different ways, through investment in real estate development projects or into businesses within an opportunity zone. And the purpose is to try to stimulate economic development. And that can happen by helping support private development and addressing feasibility gaps related to private development. It also encourages long-term ownership of developments or businesses, as you have to maintain ownership of an investment for a certain number of years to take advantage of the tax incentive that is provided within the program. So the next slide shows an example of how this program has worked for another community similar to the south side of San Antonio. I'm not sure if that switched yet, that slide. There we go. So this example is from the city of Chicago. And the south side of Chicago, specifically the Pullman neighborhood, has historically struggled to attract investments and maintain a job base for the citizens that live in that neighborhood. And so the Chicago Neighborhood Initiatives partnered with a private developer to help attract the development of a warehouse and distribution facility in the neighborhood as a way to attract businesses to the community. And the tax incentives help attract investors and developers to this project where they have previously have struggled to get investment. So this type of project does not necessarily provide a specific social impact beyond just creating a new building, but is an example of how this tool can increase investment in areas that have struggled to attract investment. Next slide. So San Antonio has developed a strategic effort for its opportunity zones. There are 9 general opportunity zone areas within the city. They're made up of more than 9 census tracts, but they're generally grouped together, as you can see on this map here. They have a dedicated the city has created a dedicated opportunity zone manager who helps to facilitate the strategy for trying to leverage this federal tool to better the community. There's an advisory board that's been set up to help support that effort. And the city has produced informational websites and brochures to help businesses and stakeholders within the community understand the opportunities related to opportunity zones. The first major effort that the city undertook was development of a strategy to help guide and attract investment into the near west side of the city. And that strategy was created last year. This effort that we're doing now for the south side is sort of the second effort similar to that near west side effort. Next slide. So as we showed you, there were 9 areas generally, but our project is only focused on 2 specific areas that contain 4 different census tracts. The 2 areas are the Quintana Road area, which is made up of 2 census tracts you can see on the left side of the map. That includes portions of the Quintana neighborhood and as well as the East Kelly Railport that is part of Port San Antonio. The other area, which pertains specifically to the World Heritage area, is the Mission San Jose / Brooks area. This area shown on the map in the area highlighted on the right side of the map, it includes the majority of the Mission Reach and the World Heritage area within the city, and in addition, the Brooks redevelopment area. And so we wanted to bring to your all's attention this project as it could potentially be a tool to help fuel some of the initiatives that the World Heritage Office and others are looking to bring forward in regards to the World Heritage area. So this effort is a partnership, as was mentioned previously, between the city's Economic Development Department, the World Heritage Office, and Southside First, which is an economic development partnership that was formed to help support economic development growth within the south side of San Antonio. And our effort, our strategy, will help guide their efforts in trying to leverage this tool, but also identifying ways to mitigate potential negative impacts from new private investment in these areas. Next slide. So our project will occur over 5 months. We're about a month and a half in, and we've already started some of our outreach. Our deliverables will be 3. There's 3 of them. There's an overview report will provide background information on opportunity zones. The second will be a strategic plan will help guide investments and actions by those organizations I mentioned on the previous slide. And the third will be an investment perspective, which is really a marketing or a promotional document that can be used by these organizations to promote investment opportunities that are desired by the community within the area. A major part of our process is outreach to the communities that are impacted or within the World Heritage area, as well as potential investors, developers, business owners, and others that might be able to utilize the tool. And so that is why we brought on MIG to help support our outreach efforts. And I'll let Kristen talk about the survey that we have going up here in a second. The last slide that I have before I turn it over to Kristen is the next one. I wanted to bring to your all's attention some related efforts, specifically the SA Tomorrow effort. SA Tomorrow was the city's initiative to create a comprehensive plan for the entire community that provides guidance for how the community should grow over the next 20 to 30 years. That effort was completed and adopted in 2016. Since then, the city has been developing sub-area plans for specific geographies throughout the community to help create a future land use plan for the entire community, to help guide what types of development and uses we want in each portion of our community. The city has already completed 5 of these sub-area plans in the phase 1 effort, and is currently working to adopt an additional 6 plans in the phase 2 effort, which will be wrapped up next year. I want to bring to your attention the South Community Plan Area effort, which will kick off in 2021. This area, which will include all of the World Heritage area along the river and the Mission Trail. And this plan will be a specific opportunity for you all, the community, to help guide the future of this area in terms of the types of uses, investments, and community attributes that are within the area. And so I wanted to bring that to your attention and encourage you to participate and look for opportunities to engage in 2021 in this important plan effort. With that, I'll turn it over to Kristen Ramirez to talk about our outreach efforts and your opportunity to participate and help guide our efforts in this Opportunity Zone strategy.
All right, thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. And so as Matt said, I'm with MIG, and so we are working with EPS to really provide the engagement outreach for support for this project. And so one portion of that outreach is really a community questionnaire that we just launched today. So you all are the second pair of eyes to see this, but we have a survey in English and Spanish. It is currently a digital survey, but we understand that there's, we want to bridge that digital divide. So we will have paper copies, flyers that we'll hand out later on in the year and in January as well. But this survey is really a way for us to gauge, really what the community wants, needs, and desires for growth in these areas. So it really includes not only the World Heritage areas, but also the Quintana Road census tracts that Matt mentioned earlier. And so, as I mentioned, the survey launched today. And so we are going to have this open until the end of January, potentially beginning of February. But really, we're looking for your feedback from the community, whether you're a business owner, resident, part of the development community, city staff, or just occasionally visit these areas. We really want to hear from you and get your insight to help guide us as we're preparing the strategic plan that we're going to provide for the city and give them guidance on the opportunity zones and based on really what the community wants to see. So we're excited to kick this off with you and would love to hear any questions that you have through the chat, and feel free to send those our way and we'll gladly respond. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen, and thank you, Matt. I'm going to unshare my screen now to see if we have any questions from the participants in the community in the chat feature here. Just give me 1 second. And so the first question, will these presentation slides be posted on the City of San Antonio website? Yes. So after tonight's meeting, these PowerPoint presentations will be made available on the World Heritage website. That's www.sanantonio.gov/World Heritage. And so we'll place those on our website, and we'll make an announcement through our social media so that those members that were unable to attend tonight can review the information and material that was shared this evening. Second question, let's see, I have, how will the surveys be distributed, Kristen and Matt? I saw that there was a link there and a QR code. Can you explain a little bit more about the process?
Right. So again, we just started launching our survey today. So we are slowly distributing that information out through local networks, whether that's through some of our stakeholders that we've already started to meet with and getting the word out to them in their neighborhood associations. We'd also love to hear from you and through the chat if you have some community organizations that we can reach out to as well. We're looking to you all for that info, but we're also going to be distributing this, again, as Rogelio said, this is on the city's website, and so we'll be distributing that through the Economic Development Office as well, and other platforms such as Southside First.
Thank you. We have another question. Is the Office of Historic Preservation and the World Heritage Office using the Mission District Design Manual in this process? And so, as we know, the Mission District Design Manual was approved by Council last year, and so we did share this information with our consultants for this project. Yes. Another question. Can the consultants or World Heritage staff speak more about the ideal investment types they would like to see?
I was going to let Matt address this, but I'll chime in real quick. So in terms of the ideal types of investments that we want to see, we're looking to you all as a community to really guide us through that process and kind of give us a list of prioritization. You know, whether you want to see maybe some more uses that are hospitality based, some uses that create employment. Those are just some options already that have been brought up. And in the survey, we do ask you for we have this types of uses listed, and we do ask you for your preferences. So we're looking to you all to guide us as we're creating the strategic plan.
Yeah, Kristen, that's great overview. Really, what our purpose is to help understand what the community wants and try to identify ways to use the tool to get to that. And so your input is real critical in providing that. We have had some stakeholder meetings already, and things that we have heard that are, associated with the World Heritage area would be potentially more small businesses such as restaurants and other services that would could cater to the community, but also to visitors to the missions, and presenting opportunities for people to linger longer and along the mission trail and in the South Side, as opposed to just coming to the missions. And that could be, like I said, restaurants. It could be stores. It could also be a hotel or uses like that could support visitors, but also provide an amenity and attraction for the neighborhoods that surround the area as well.
And there's a last question for those folks who don't have any devices. So we saw a link to the survey and we saw a QR code. How will the city obtain feedback from those individuals that don't have smart devices?
Right, so we're looking to our community members. We're going to be creating a PDF version of this. So we're going to have printouts based on that. And so we'll have some flyers that we'll get out to community organizations that we're working with already. But also in the upcoming year, and this is really the kind of the phase 2 of our engagement process, we're going to be working with local university students to get out into the community. Obviously, boots on the ground is always helpful, especially to bridge that digital divide gap. But we also understand that we want to keep in mind that it's still COVID era, and so we are going to reach out to communities and have more of an in-person connection that way, but we will be social distancing. We will have proper safety protocols that we will enforce, but we'll have those flyers with us. And so those university students will collect the feedback from us, really conduct the surveys, and then get that to us so we can input that with all of our digital responses.
Thank you, Kristen, and thank you, Matt. We'll move on to the second item on the agenda this evening. I'd like to welcome Sandy Morander, President and CEO of the YMCA of Greater San Antonio. She will provide an update on the phase 2 and phase 3 for the Harvey E. Najum Family YMCA. Let me just pull up your presentation, Sandy. Give me 1 second.
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. And let me thank you all for making time for this community conversation. And thank you, Councilwoman Villagrán, for hosting these conversations to ensure we all hear the voice of you, the constituents that matter most. So thank you for your continued support of this work. We appreciate it. So in 2017, we opened the Harvey E. Najum Y in September, so we're a little over 3 years old. And we included in Bond 2017 an expansion for phase 2. And we have, due to the impact of COVID and our business model, we have rearranged the models of phase 2 and phase 3. And what we're covering tonight is the new order of those phases based on the impact that COVID has had on our YMCA model. So phase 2, unfortunately, the guide has been updated minus one item. So let me quickly go over what will be included. And sorry that the picture is really small. So squint, enlarge it on your screen, and hopefully you can zoom in on this. So item number 5 is the splash pad, and we will show you a bigger version of that. So you'll see the detail. The sports field in 6, number 6. The ceremonial drum circle, number 17, is being moved to phase 2. The outdoor pavilion, number 4, and the shade structures, number 7, around that field. And we have pushed into phase 3, the outdoor pool, number 11, expanding the parking, number 10, and locker room and facility expansion, number 14. So as you can see, this master plan remains the site of all the amenities we imagined for the Harvey E. Najum location, and we have rearranged phase 2 ordering and phase 3. The Bond 2017 helps us build these amenities, but the annual operating cost is the full responsibility of the YMCA. And again, unfortunately, with the reduction in membership in our entire footprint, we are having to make some very hard decisions about what we are able to support and remain sustainable and viable in the long run. We chose the splash pad, and if you'll advance the slide deck, as a feature that we think brings a fun, family, and interactive experience with water into phase 2 as an enhancement to the services that we are offering. It will bring new visitors to the area and will expand on our commitment to be providing and improving community health and health outcomes. Active family engagement, and especially in the outdoors, we are learning is one of the safest activities we can all participate in, and one that pre-COVID has been very popular with parks and recreation improvements around the city. So we are delighted to include this in the phase 2. You will also see a survey being launched today as well in phase, both in English and in Spanish. You'll see the links here, and there will be paper versions available at our YMCA location. And Christine, I wanted to let you know if you all wanted to leave copies of paper surveys for your community outreach at the Y, we would be happy to have those there for you as well as one of your distribution locations. We will leave those surveys open through the month of January and report back to Councilwoman Villagran's office the results and share that, I'm sure, back with this group. But know that our master plan remains complete with all the elements we originally imagined. We are just rearranging the order in which they will be built. And I will defer to questions if there are any.
Thank you, Sandy. I'm going to stop sharing the screen here and see if there are any questions in our chat feature. Okay. There aren't any questions that I see as of now.
So that's either I was super effective or boring and people aren't asking any questions. We'll leave it with I was super effective in my communication.
So there's one, I'm sorry, there's one question, clarification. So is the pool still a possibility?
Absolutely. And in fact, Councilwoman Viagran was really asking if we could get a timeline. There is another bond coming up in 2022, and we will do the research and request. And there is a 5-year window for those projects to be complete. So we are hoping the timing of this economic setback gets reversed within that next 5-year window of bond 2022. So it is still a part of our plan. The timing is yet to be determined, but we're hopeful that it will be within the next bond cycle. We can't hear you talk.
Excuse me, we have just one last comment, Sandy. They wanted to thank you and look forward to the water elements at the YMCA.
Thank you. Thank you all for your time.
Another comment? The Mission San Jose Neighborhood Association is happy to hear about the splash pad. So we'll go ahead and move to the next item on the agenda, which is the last topic. This is the World Heritage Trail street name changes. Just give me 1 second so I could pull that up. Just bear with me, please. Okay, the next topic is the World Heritage Trail street name changes. From the City of San Antonio's Development Services Department, we have Valerie Huerta Rodriguez, Senior Planner, as well as Logan Sparrow, Interim Policy Administrator. Valerie?
Thank you, Rogelio. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Alrighty, so we just wanted to talk about a little bit of the process about the World Heritage Trail street name change project. Development Services has partnered with the World Heritage Office to go through this process together. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. If you want to go to the next slide, Rogelio. Sorry, it doesn't look like it's changing for me. Is it? There we go. There we go. Alrighty, so a little bit of background on this process itself and how we came to be. So in 2016, the World Heritage Office initiated a wayfinding study, which was presented at the World Heritage Symposium in December 2016. A survey was also distributed in 2016 with over 100 respondents, with a majority approved for these proposed street name changes. In 2017, City Council did approve a bond project that included funds for wayfinding enhancements along Mission Reach. And in 2020, another survey was put out to gauge community response, where 225 participants completed, and the survey results will be shown here in the next slide, I believe. Alrighty, so going into the survey results as well as the 8 street name changes that World Heritage is proposing to be changed. First one is going to be the stretch along Mission Road it's going to be changed to Roosevelt Park Drive, and this is between Roosevelt Avenue and the dead end of Mission Road. And in the 2020 survey, they got 47% approval. I know the map is a little bit small, but it does show that little stretch of area that is proposed to be changed. Next slide. So these are the remaining street name changes. Number 2, you'll see Napier Avenue to Mission Road to San Jose Drive, Padre Drive to Mission Road, Mission Parkway to Riverfront Parkway, Acequia to Espada Road, East Ashley Road to Espada Road, and Via Man to Mission Road. And to the right, you'll see those 2020 survey results, and those are the percentages of approval for the street name change proposals. Next slide. So in regards to the process and procedures, as I said, World Heritage is the applicant for these street name changes. Development Services assist in the processes and the facilitation of the application. So a timeline for this, in October of 2020, DSD notified the City of San Antonio agencies for technical review. So we have done that. We will host a community meeting. We have also done one with the neighborhood association as well in December of 2020. Tomorrow we are slated to go to HDRC public hearing, and then in March of 2021 we'll go to Planning Commission public hearing, and after that we'll move to City Council for final consideration. Next slide. So a little bit more about the process and procedures for the entire project. The 8 street name changes will include 8 address changes. In total, they will include 102 properties that abut all of the street name changes. So we will be sending 102 notices to property owners, and that will include 25 commercial properties, 72 residential, 1 multifamily, and 4 neighborhood associations. And just below that, you'll see the 4 neighborhood associations that are within this project, which include Roosevelt Park, Mission San Jose, Hot Wheels Mission Reach, and Via Coronado. And then to the right, we'll give you an idea of the technical reviewing agencies that are reviewing this project. They include all of the city departments, Bexar County, Bexar Metro 911, CPS Energy, Development Services, and so on. Next slide. So the fiscal impact for this project, we have collected a $1,000 application fee. We did get a cost estimate from the Public Works Department that totaled $2,903.64 for sign replacements for all of the street name changes. We do also assess a notification fee for each notification, which totals $459, with a total fiscal impact of $4,362.64. Next slide. Oh, that's it.
Thank you, Valerie. I'm going to go into the chat feature to see if there are any questions regarding the street name changes, okay? Just give me 1 second. Okay, first question. The expense entailed by the residents and commercial properties who live on Napier Avenue is not an equitable outcome from the street name change. That's one comment.
So they're talking about the expenses that it would cost to change their address?
Correct, for residents and commercial businesses.
So that's something that we would work with the World Heritage Office, I believe. Logan, I'm not sure if you want to chime in on that as far as the fiscal impact for the people that will be affected by that street name change segment.
Yeah, so start off by saying that the application fee is not something that would be passed on to the taxpayer or adjacent residents. In previous conversations with the World Heritage Office, I understood that there may be some effort put into setting aside some amount of funding to assist multifamily properties that may need business cards, signage changed. Is the World Heritage off? Could someone, maybe Colleen, an update on that front?
Hi, Logan. This is Colleen Swain, the director of the City of San Antonio's World Heritage Office. We understand that there's a cost to both the residents and the commercial businesses associated with these name changes. If you are concerned about that, please reach out to our office, and we can have a conversation about what the issues may be. So please reach out to us at worldheritage@sanantonio.gov.
Thank you, Colleen. And I think one of the questions in addition to that is that there's an expense to some of the residents regarding changing their bank account information for their insurance, things of that sort. So that was another follow-up to the question. I don't think there are any other questions regarding this topic. Matt and Kristen, are you still on the line?
I'm here. This is Matt.
I got a text message from a resident regarding the opportunity zones. The question is there an ongoing push by the city for hotels in the Mission Corridor?
I don't think so. Part of this effort is to identify the types of uses that people want to see more of. And so we'll be looking at that in our efforts.
Thank you. Colleen, I don't have any other questions. If you'd like to make some remarks.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you to all the panelists who presented this evening, and thank you for all the residents who submitted your questions. Please don't worry if you were unable to get your question into us, or maybe you hadn't thought of it yet. Please send that to us at a later date. You can do that at worldheritage@sanantonio.gov. As Rogelio mentioned early on, we are recording this meeting, and we will have a link for those surveys, and that will be at the City of San Antonio's website, www.sanantonio.gov/World Heritage. And at this time, I'd like to ask the councilwoman if she'd like to make any closing remarks. Looks like we're ending up a little bit early. So Councilwoman Villagrán.
Thank you very much, Colleen. Thank you, Rogelio, and all the panelists. Most especially, thank you to all of the members who tuned in and who registered and are here tonight asking the questions that they did. This is a step in our process. We are going through such an incredible economics, environmental, cultural, recreational resurgence in District 3 and in this area that unlike we've ever seen. So your voice is absolutely important. We had links to the surveys. We'll probably do some outreach and phone calls to you for filling out these surveys or just giving us your feedback. We want to know what is it that you want to see within these opportunity zones. Just so you know, we at the city are also working on a federal level to make sure that opportunity zones, there are some changes at the federal level that we can make sure that cities and local governments and communities can give their voice to what can go into these opportunity zones, and then like we're doing today. And then please give us your feedback from the surveys for the Harvey Najum YMCA, as well as the name change. It's very, very important for us to continue to get your feedback. We are trying all we can with our offices being closed physically, but we're still on the phone and we're still answering those calls and getting those calls to you. Thank you all very, very much. You all are the heart and soul of our community, and District 3 is the past, the present, and the future of San Antonio. So thank you again. This Saturday, we have that book giveaway happening, so please check out our social media for more details. Be blessed, be safe, and healthy. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Councilwoman, and thank you, Rogelio. You managed everything by yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen and Councilwoman Villagrán. This concludes our meeting tonight. Thank you.
We have turned it off, right?